G'day guys, welcome to the Melbourne Cup edition of Mailbag TV. Jonathan Walsh, the Wish.
I've been attacked left, right and centre this week. I'll just get scared when people put their hands
Reports
out.
are you were in bed before midnight last
I'll
night.
do a Ryan Moore and Frankie Dettori to you. No, Frankie did this and Ryan Moore's given him a little fist. So they've done the little...
I don't know if I want to, after the reports I've just heard, I don't know if I want to touch Drew.
I don't know where Drew's fingers
I
are.
don't know where that fucking means.
Yeah, my Drew, I had a couple of people ask me during the week about this, that and the other, and I'm like, mate, I know very little about anything other than Victorian racing. So I'll take your word for it, Drew. Good to see you, mate.
Good to see you.
Very big effort here by Drewsy to maintain appearances.
I would
this
say,
morning.
like, with the Betfair event yesterday, the market would have been, I'd probably be favourite, you'd be right near me, and then Drew would be long odds to have misbehaved last night. I was home by 9:30. I've been for a swim. I was getting goals today.
I was getting a call at 9:30 from Francesca to keep going out.
Oh, she's a good lady, Franny.
Oh, grouse.
Anyway.
So what we do here, we're going to chew the fat a bit. Obviously discuss...
We're not going to go through each and every race because it's too hard.
We'll just do the Melbourne Cup.
The Melbourne Cup card will be previewed on the podcast for the podcast members. That'll be done tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So I'll tidy it up this afternoon, tonight, and get my opinions ready for that. We're just going to gently discuss Derby Day.
Gently with a sledgehammer or what?
The wish bashing some jockeys.
Rightly so.
Then we're going to just go through the Melbourne Cup. Just the one race today.
So
where last year Drew declared the winner. So pressure's on.
Hey, you declared it from your heart as well, so it was a nice little combo.
Which unfortunately I didn't realise that you'd actually declared on the show. There's too much going on. We did the show last year, then we went to the function.
And
I overrate.
Yeah.
I throw like Drew.
I don't think you overraced. I think we did about the 4,000 metre or the Grand Annual. We went to Grand Annual. It's pretty waterable.
I think we're a bit like very elegant on Saturday yesterday. Restrained.
Yeah.
No intent of trying.
I showed a bit of intent. I might have been Osborne Bulls.
Yeah.
I went hard early, hit the line over the 1,000 metres.
How you going? No good.
Have a fucking look at me. What do you reckon? Oh shit. But look,
Okay.
Let's
discuss your Twitter wars.
No, I'm not going to. I reckon first of all, the Flemington track on Saturday was a standard first day track.
I was outstanding.
But the inside runs was the place to be.
Yeah. 1
to sort of 5 off the fence.
Which makes sense, doesn't it?
Which has been a standard sort of positioning in for those
last 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, or more.
I think
there was 1 year where they really buggered the track and aerated it.
It's still great the inside 5.
Yeah.
Nick Williams has bagged the track again, I'm pretty sure, hasn't he?
Of course.
Oh, I'm not sure.
So it'll be good test now for the young bloke who's running the track.
Your champion fella, Liam O'Keefe.
Liam O'Keefe, prior to the Magical Waters of Warrnambool.
Purnham, and that comes off the farm.
Really interesting to see how he backs up the. They folded to the pressure at Caulfield, aerated it, and it went to shit.
Yep. Okay.
It'll be really interesting what he does here because he's copping it again from.
They moved the rail out 2 metres, pretty standard. Maybe it could have been 3 metres, I thought.
You've got to understand when Nick Williams criticises, like, this is a bloke who controls the names of horses. You notice that we had a really good result on A Prince of Arran. But if you want to back the favourite in Melbourne Cup, it's still Yucatan. Their horses get their names left. They call for tracks to be aerated and watered.
So hold on. What do you mean by the A Prince of Arran?
Prince of Arran's name was Prince of Arran overseas, but now it's called A Prince of Arran because there was one out here called it.
Yucatan, it was called Yucatan overseas, and even though there's a horse here called Yucatan, it's still called Yucatan.
Oh, right.
Because look who owns it.
Because they got the other one to change its name.
Oh, there might have been a copyright or something.
No, there wasn't. No.
I'm just saying,
there could
be a bunch of red helicopters
complaining
over the straight on Saturday just dropping water.
No, they sit there, they would have said to the blokes, hey, I'll give you a slab of mountain goat, change the horse's name. I said, no worries. No worries.
The goat's powerful. It's a powerful drop.
Yeah, so, okay. But I thought
track was outstanding. Like,
hey, Osborne Bulls was in the worst part of the track and Brainham's.
Big win.
Yeah.
So was Divine Quality, but I think it's a little bit further out.
But the track had worn by then too, with the races.
And that thing won by like 5 in the end, like something
I
ridiculous.
thought Osborne Bulls was probably a much better win than it looked.
Yeah, that's what I was going to aim at. But obviously, I took aim at John Allen yesterday, and I'll stand by what I said. I think he did.
You think he's a C grade jockey?
I don't think he is. He's nowhere near A grade. Like he's not these Hugh Bowmans or Kerry McAvoy
Or James McDonald's?
Yeah, or Mickey Walker. He rode the big winner for us again. You know, he rode that a treat.
Yeah, he did.
Put it exactly in the right spot, kicked at the right time, and it was a ride that probably won it for the horse because it was the Birmingham Rocks was coming home hard. But
Yep.
whether he was riding to instructions or not, the horse maybe didn't settle. But if I owned the horse and it wasn't a trial, which sort of people have said, oh, we're going to... But I think it comes back to, and the Derby, the whole card in the last couple of weeks, people talk about team riding. I'm not worried about team riding when the stable informs the punters of what they're going to do. D'Argento's, we're going to go to the lead with it. Well, it may not be a leader, but they've said we're going to the lead, so they've told you, so that's fine.
Yeah, see, with D'Argento, with this ridiculous ride... the ridiculous ride on Severate, that's just one horse.
Yeah.
Going off quickly. It's then the responsibility of the other jockeys in the stables to go, just let him go. Like, fuck him.
Yeah.
He may as well be running in another race.
But it does make some of the other horses.
Yeah, no, why is that?
Because they're horses, mate.
They do like to chase, but
Yeah, but I think that...
Like, how often though does a horse go off by itself when they can just get the horse to settle?
Yeah, well, you don't know, but my point is, Very Elegant is still very short in the Oaks, considering the run it had on Saturday. So is that the stable playing games? Is it the poor ride, or is it a combination of the two?
It's a $2 to $2.35 lay, the lack of intent. If they wanted the horse to run well, I think John Allen's a B grade jockey, not a C grade jockey. I think most of them are B graders. He would let the horse have its head once he realises it's just not going to settle.
Yeah.
But he rides for Weir every week and every day because he does exactly as he is told, and he doesn't divert from that.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go, oh, this horse is hating this. I'm going to let it roll now.
Yeah.
He just his arms would have been sore when he got back.
Yeah, because that's
like it's lucky that Extra Brute just carts along at the back because he'd be.
Yeah.
But go back to my...
Like he hasn't eaten anything for 2 days. He barely drinks, and he's just have to hold this horse for 2,000 metres. You know.
Yeah.
Which, of course, it's not easy, and it's not good.
It's no good. No, it's poor. It's shit house.
And what about... Because I go back to...
Darren Weir Racing just treated a Group 1... Was it a Group 1?
It was a list group.
Group
Wait,
two,
it was a good race. On Derby Day, they treated it like a trial.
Yeah. And if you're going to do that, so they should have went out and said, Very Elegant's going to be ridden for cover. Ridden back in the field for cover.
I think there just needs to be a bit of a...
Punters
Like everything in the world, it just needs to adapt and evolve. The change of tactics for stewards needs to be, we're going to restrain to last. Ride for cover is not a accurate enough term anymore, because cover could be one back the fence, or it could be violently restricted to last, and we're going to choke the horse until it does as it's told.
Yeah.
Because we want it to settle so it gets it further. Like, that's okay. If they say we're going to violently... But this thing's going to be held to last.
Yeah. We're trying to teach this thing to relax, and we're going to do everything possible to get it relaxed.
And it's actually funny,
on a big race day.
Yeah.
We know that the Very Elegant's going to be really pushed out the back.
Yeah, I think punters deserve better. Well, what about that when Arker at Caulfield went to the lead and the jockey said, well, it's just which was Nicky Walker again. He said, why'd you go to the lead? He goes, leader's track was trying to give the horse every chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but again, he should have to...
And the stable got pulled over the coals for that too, because they were the ones who didn't let the changes.
See, I think most of what you're saying is more to do with Darren Weir than Johnny Allen. He rides for Weir because he does exactly as he's told. That's why Willow only rides syndication horses. Oliver doesn't ride for him because they think...
Yeah, I don't know about him. I just like watching the videos and whatever else and trying to scratch out a small amount.
Maybe post Spring Carnival we can do a jockey rating.
Oh, that'd be great.
We'll get hammered.
I'll end up with a fucking horse's head in my bed.
No,
what was that out of the Goodfellas or something?
Yeah.
They're professional athletes. It's like watching the footy on the
weekend. They should be able to.
We can come on here and talk about Buddy Franklin and Tom Hawkins. It's the same thing.
So champion data puts out how many kicks and even pressure acts. we get access to that information off punting form, which the general public don't have, or they can have. They're just got to pay
I
for
just
it.
think it's important that we also
They're elite
talk about
athletes.
some positives. You know, like Jessica Eaton yesterday. I think it's Jessica Eaton. Jess
Yeah.
Eaton.
Yeah.
At
Born bad.
At Mornington,
Happy
born bad.
days.
Mailbag movers.
Had a
Noel
whop-
Callow or someone.
A whopper bacon
Was
over
it-
after that.
Was it Noel?
Someone
like tried to hold her in, and she said, "Get fucked, you old fossil." I'm holding my spot, and it's a great ride, and she should be getting more rides because of rides like that.
She's a really good jockey, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Yeah.
Thinking jockey, and she was pretty courageous there. I thought it was a really good ride. There was a bunch of good rides on Saturday that sort of were the difference.
Yeah.
Like who rode Osborne Bulls? Hugh.
I don't know if that was a good ride. I think that horse was just had better.
Yeah, but he had to get going when he did.
Yeah,
If he was too pretty, he would have lost. Like James McDonald, I think was probably too pretty on Zusane. I think he rode probably the race.
I did say yesterday, look, I've gone back and had a look at the Manicato. I think Sunlight was the one I wanted to keep out of those, and you said, nah.
I think if Zusane gets going earlier, it wins.
No,
But
mate.
I think James McDonald probably had the ride of the day. Or probably
Nicky Walker had the ride of the day.
Shillelagh was pretty good.
Yeah, right, and that was the right part of the track. Once again, I've got those 3 stands at Flemington. My brother's done the form. He goes, best of the day, Shillelagh. I'm like, nah, I'll get too far back in the field. He goes, up to you. Fucking, could have been fatter again.
I mean, just to give some praise to Johnny Allen, I think he's pulled the pants down of Ty England in the fucking derby. Like, if you go rewatch that ride, Ty's been in front of him, and Johnny's come around, forced him in and stopped him through his run to the point where he's then had to go all the way back around him. Like, he's absolutely pulled his pants
Yeah,
down.
I prefer.
Do you know what I tweeted? Because I laid quite a bit of money on Very Elegant all on the way out, and it drifted on the fair. I'm like, this is one that stays in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll keep the money in the bag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the tweet was strangled now. What got me was the last little hashtag. If I didn't do that, he wouldn't have won the derby. You know, I've improved it.
Yeah.
I'll give him a kick. I think I said country jock at best. If I just didn't put the country jock at best, I wouldn't have got the coverage I got now. Instead, the phone's ding, ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding.
it's also just like it's the big races everyone's talking about. John Allen rode like Tomasa at Cranbourne, for example.
Yeah.
Fucking peach. This horse, Extra Brute, was just going to win this race, in my opinion. Like,
With the speed on,
the faster they went, the better his chances were.
Yeah.
Righto, so thoughts are, shithouse ride, Very Elegant, good ride, Extra Brute.
Disgraceful tactics, Very Elegant in a group race, in my opinion.
Okay, track, not too bad, standard, what we expected.
Yeah.
Track on Tuesday, it will wear, they'll start coming further out and
And
wider.
also, as it's a review show, just quickly before we forget, I lost a unit and a half, I think, on Saturday, Mounty Mail. We were in front all day, had a unit at True Elixir at 130s on the fair.
But what about the
Little
movers?
blast out, yeah, but big day overall.
Yeah.
And
Anyone who's on the movers product, like, you can thank me for a few of them out there on the movers, I've been doing a bit of work for ringing him up. I go, Dicko, this Prince Barron's tomorrow. Oh, yeah, right, I know it. Yeah, that horse will be back last week. It's in Sunday. It should be hard to beat. Yeah, no worries. Just keeping the dream alive here, punters. Keeping everyone fed.
It did remind me that Born Bad was in it on Sunday, just in case I missed it.
Yeah,
Which is appreciated, Jonathan.
no worries, mate. It's all right. I'll still clip the ticket on the way out.
Can't believe you had avocado smashed avocado this morning at the cafe. I never thought that you would be there in your thongs with your freshly rogaine mop,
I haven't got any product or anything today.
just having a little smashed avo by yourself with a little latte. Was it? It looked like a latte on Instagram.
Baby channel, I thought.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
What the
But good
fuck's
on
that
you.
baby Chino?
Get in touch
You know
with
soon
sort
enough,
of.
mate.
No,
I would have
you
thought a
go-
man like you would have like image problems with just enjoying a bit of smashed avo.
Yeah, I
But
do,
good on
because
you.
I don't eat avocado at all. It makes me spew. It's no good. I don't like the texture of it. But I was sitting here and I'm new to Instagram, you're building the profile, and I'm like,
What's your Instagram? Chuck it out there for the viewers.
same as me Twitter, mate.
At Big Bookmaker.
So I was saying,
Fishing photos.
fishing photos, cut pictures to stand. I'm sitting there going, like, usually just perving at chicks. Anyway, I hit there and I'm like, oh, whose story is this? And I'm like, the fuck? Who the fuck puts a picture of smashed avos and tomato on the bread in their house?
A bit of cheese.
Oh, it's the Paddington Wonder Boy, Jack Dickens. No wonder. And I said, mate, what are you doing? Like, the fuck? It's just no good.
No.
I was pretty hungry after my swim. punched out 12 laps this morning. It's a PB.
I told you, I lost
Only
5
one
kilos and I
slight
put 2 kilos back on last week.
Tell you what happened to me this morning, though, which you wouldn't be able to handle very well, I don't reckon.
What's that?
The elderly woman overtook me.
Oh.
I might get myself fit. I reckon I could beat you at 50 metres in the swimming too.
I would love to just wager a severe amount of cash on any physical activity you want. Anything.
Okay.
In any sport.
Any sport. No worries.
Speaking of which, when are you playing more in Woodcock at tennis?
Oh, and golf.
Oh.
What?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't agree to any bets.
Yeah,
So
so
he
his
goes
old
alright,
man, his
doesn't
old man
I know
made
his old man was a good tennis.
his old man made the quarterfinals of Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Warren was a pro tennis player, and then he actually went on a scholarship for golf. The fucking University of Arizona or
Yeah.
something. So for he's a pretty big unit.
Big man.
Good man.
Can I help
Very
anybody?
tall lad of the 30 brothers.
Yeah,
Back it.
Even at Warren's age, I think he'd definitely beat you at golf without a doubt. There's no question about that. That would just be a given. And the tennis, he might just outshark you as well. I think possible.
Well, I did just buy a new axe actually.
New axe.
I'm going to pick tennis racket for those that play sports.
That's usually a cricket bat, an axe.
Oh,
Yeah. He's right there, actually.
Right, do we?
an axe is a tennis racket, and
You're an accident.
your goal swing is an accident. No, it's not an accident. It's just hard to watch.
It's just sus.
It's sus. Very sus. Yeah, yeah. A bit like you saying you got home at 9:30.
I did get home at 9:30.
Oh, fucking.
Hey,
Please, Jonathan. Anyway, guys,
I
let's.
wasn't making it rain at some of Melbourne's finer establishments while the other bloke here. It's a good
How
hat.
did that go?
It's a good hat you got on there, Drew.
They'd make you take it off.
Finally, stop sweating too.
You probably think you got cameras in it.
Yeah. It's in my shoes.
All right.
That's grouse.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Right, so Flemington Race 7, the Toyota Melbourne Cup over 3,200 metres at 3 o'clock.
Mountain Goat Melbourne Cup.
The Mountain Goat punting form,
Betfair.
Betfair Melbourne Cup,
Premier Finance Group.
the Harbour Finance.
Rain forecast.
Yeah, you get into that.
There's meant to be 5 to 15 millimetres today. A lot of it's missed Flemington. Still more to come. 5 to 15 millimetres tomorrow. Well, there's a chance that this rain couldn't hit, and they're not going to irrigate it anymore. So old mate Lloydie may have a bit of an issue with the track tomorrow, which will be just hilarious. I would say that's probably the biggest factor right now, that we just don't know if we're going to get a good 3 or a soft 5.
Okay. Now, would you like to do each horse, Drew?
Yeah, I think we should run through each horse. Speed map quickly.
Yeah.
I've got one just saying where I think which one's going forward. So Runaway should be going forward and leading. Best Solution, Rostopovich, who has a query on jumping well enough and getting up there, but it should be going forward, I'd expect.
Pretty forward and Cox played.
Yeah, but it took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
So in
They've
this
got
type of
the whole
race,
straight to get there, though.
yeah,
Ace high.
Ace High, Chestnut Coat, Marmello, Cross Counter, Sir Charles Road, Venga Mask. So you got and even Yucatan from that wide barrier, they're gonna have to roll forward.
No, I disagree.
Really?
I think the few of them will go hard,
Yeah.
and it'll slot in midfield.
Okay.
That's what. If I was Mark Guest, J-Max jockey manager, say, now listen, mate, just let them go.
Yeah.
And just put a bit of pace on, but sit in. But
The mail I got is that J-Mac got told very aggressively and directly when legged up how to ride the horse.
no, I think they said, yeah, if it wants to go, let it go.
Yeah.
You know?
They said if you strangle this horse, we'll.
Oh right, well, that's strangle. It's a good word there.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Sorry, Drew.
No, look, realistically, it's a bloody hard speed map with so many different pace angles and where horses are going to settle, so,
There's 24 of them.
yeah.
What?
Okay, do you want to start with runner by runner, Drew?
Yeah, so number
Okay,
one,
Number one is Best Solution. Your horse, it is currently $12 across the board.
getting 14's
It's
Betfair.
obviously the Caulfield Cup winner. You're big on this horse. You've had a... Just before you start talking, I think it's important that you articulate the bias that you have.
Oh, I'm
So you've
very
got
big bias.
as in like you've already got a cups double and shit.
Yeah.
So he's obviously there's a little bit of Druzy just
Drew's on it for a
Playing
small
golf,
fortune.
Yeah.
which is important to note, when he's talking about the horse.
I know, I'd always say that. Look,
Drew was going to upgrade his little bloody sports car here this
Fucking
week.
needs to. It's banged up out there.
It's not banged up.
no,
is it?
there is, yeah, someone
He's been.
hit a tow bar into the side of it, yeah, didn't catch him.
Right.
Best Solution.
Highest time form rated horse in the race,
Barrier
deserves to
6.
wait. Perfect barrier compared to all the other favourites, so not a surprise, a little bit of money's come for it. It's a world beater, it's versatile. Last international run in Germany was on a soft track. It was a true staying test. Melbourne Cup, it did the opposite. It was in a sprint home. It wasn't a true staying test. So it can do both. My really big thing for the horse, its last 4 wins were by under half a length or less. So when it's been tested, it keeps going. It wants to fight, it wants to win.
Never seen 3,200 metres, true.
I'm still fine with that.
Maybe you're reading my guide.
I have no issues with this horse thing at 3,200 metres. It'll handle both surfaces.
No issues?
No issues with this horse at all. And I think this horse next year will be the best stayer in the world.
Oh, bang.
So, but you're going to say it just wins, or?
It's going to be in my top 2 numbers, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to add anything, Jonathan?
No, I'll just come back and crucify him at the end.
To the Cliffs of Moher for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien. It is currently a $20 shot on Betfair.
Best jockey in the world on board this horse, not on Yucatan.
Choppy.
Excluding Choppy. Ryan Moore.
Has he got a ride, actually?
No, you're not yet. You'll get there one day, won't it?
Disgusting.
So you got the best jockey in the world taking this ride, not Yucatan, which is important to me. So I think the horse is completely under the radar. It's been getting beaten by Yucatan in 800 to 1200 metre sprints at Werribee, and everyone's suggesting that Yucatan's going better. This is an out-and-out stayer, brutal tempo, going to be there at the finish. Don't take it on. It's
never seen 3,200 again, Drew. Not
yep.
worried.
Its best run ever was in the Derby about 12 months ago, and it was the most brutally run Derby you'll ever see.
Okay, Jonathan, anything to add?
I agree, Drew. The breeding says that it'll probably get 3,200.
Okay, Magic Circle for Corey Brown. Last year's winner, I believe, out of gate 17 for someone Williams out of Birmingham, Great Britain.
Peaky
It
Blinders.
is currently, oh yeah. Oh, it's currently $8.80 on Betfair. I might wear the big cheese cutter. Again, mate, back it up here, back Magic Circle.
This is a G-string horse, so the owner
Is
said, yeah, he's going to...
Grouse.
I
I
don't
don't anything to fucking get up the establishment.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I will have no part in getting up the establishment. The establishment do everything well, and I think they should look after me for my, the way
Bookmaking needs.
the way I facilitate the punters across
Yeah,
Australia.
and I think it's very, very nice the way that they positioned your stand. I think it's thoughtful and good.
Yeah, no,
You did get the grass spot.
oh no, it's just they swung it around. It was unfortunate for me, but it could have been a lot
I can
worse.
see where they were coming from.
It was a random. It was a random draw, so 3 on one side, 3 on the other. But so if I speak to them nicely, maybe they can do a better draw next year for me. So
Okay, Drew, Magic Circle for the G-string man.
This is probably the horse that settled in the worst at Werribee, so it took a long time to get going. Marmel has been beating it in all the trials runs, so it's been going better than it. Change of stable turned it from a listed horse to a group horse, which was off a 209-day break. That's a bit of a iffy thing for me. Time form ratings are good enough. Haven't seen it since May. That's another iffy thing for me. It'll handle all surfaces.
So this horse is $8.80. So you sound like you're against it.
I want to
At
pen
the
it.
price. Penning it.
I have to take it on.
Jonathan, lay. I can see you said lay.
yeah, no, that's on Drew. It's got barrier 17.
Yeah.
The struggling at Werribee. I'm just happy to lay it.
Okay,
Drew's helped me with that.
Number 4, Chestnut Coat for Kawada out of gate 4 for Yahanyi.
If this rain misses,
It is currently a $75 shot on Betfair.
if this rain misses, this is probably one of the value bets of the race.
Where do you have it landing from 4?
Oh, it's normally fairly progressive, so it'll sit probably maybe 6/8 in run, so it'll get a perfect spot. It doesn't like the wet, so no surprise it did nothing in the Caulfield Cup. It's gone 20s out to 75.
So this is a horse that if we miss the rain,
Yeah,
you're going to promote it.
yeah, definitely.
I might take some of this.
Look, I'm trust me when I say don't bet now. If we get a good 3 track, that's what you want for it.
Okay.
5th in the Tenno Show. Tenno Show form's as good, if not better, than Melbourne Cup. It wasn't beaten far.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's it for that.
Jonathan, anything else?
No, the Japanese horses have had pretty good record over the time.
Yeah.
Okay, horse number 5 is Muntaha.
That's a bit like Drew last night. He was a bit
For
I did not want to half. Thank you.
Jay
very much.
Crowley and Jay Gosden.
Gosden.
This bloke was riding at Bendigo, which I love.
Yeah.
And this is the only horse I've watched a replay of from Friday night. And I really, really love. This is a horse I'm tipping. Not with any confidence or ability, but just I love the way he hit the line on that video.
Yeah.
And I love that this jockey has spent a bit of time out here.
So I'm going to say Manning Yard Mail. This horse can potentially lose it in the yard. So this is one that will be very much, I want Dicko's opinion before I'm having a lash at it. It's a giant of a horse. It doesn't want to be locked away, so the barrier is actually not that much of a concern for it, in my opinion. I would rather it have drawn there than won. Look, it's E-ball win. You can all see the replay. It probably could have won by 6. Its time form figures for that are significantly strong. My query is if there's a wet track. It's only ever really run an okay race on a soft 5, and it wasn't anywhere near its peak. So I'm unsure if it can produce its best firm track ratings.
I've got to keep doing. I've got dual businesses to run here.
No.
Very rude.
Yeah, so I'd just be concerned if it gets a wet track, this horse.
7 fucking emojis.
That's actually
All the eggplants, what the hell?
That's one of my clients. Client. He's good. He's actually in Mako Piquet, whatever. That joint in South America, walking up the mountain.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah, that's where he is.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah, and he just said, I just come in the office to settle this deal today. He goes, great, I'll get paid. I'm like, happy days. So, everyone wins.
Okay, number 6, sound check to German for Geordie Childs out of gate 16 for Mike Maroney. It's currently a $42 shot on Betfair.
55 kilos, it was half a length off Best Solution, but it should have beat Best Solution that day based on the runs, and it still couldn't. Will stay the distance. Ratings are decent enough to run well here, one for the exotics.
I think this is that horse that Luke Murray was bagging. That they looked to buy and didn't buy.
Okay.
I reckon it's be that one. Be interesting what it does. Anything, Jonathan? No. Number 7, Who Shot Cleverman?
Who shot Thibberman?
Benny McMellum out of 18 for Christopher, just what a man, Waller, who's never done anything wrong in his life.
Pen job.
Probably a good bet for top 10. You get 3s.
Yeah, you can't. 10-year-old.
Well,
Pen.
it's currently a $65 shot. You probably get to 100th late, and I'll be having something on it. I love this horse.
It was a bit unlucky in the Moonee Valley Cup. Like, it was blocked when it was, it was only beaten 2 lengths. It wasn't a bad run.
What?
Do I want to be on it? Probably not, but goes fine on soft or firm, so, it's versatile. It'll keep staying.
I've penned it.
Fair enough.
Ace high, Drew.
Anything else, Dicko?
Okay, no. Number 8, Ace High for Ty Anglin out of gate 22 for David Payne. 22 wouldn't be a right worry, would it, Drew? It's currently a $110 shot.
It's going to go forward, so it could
22
be...
is probably a good draw.
Yeah. This is the most interesting horse of the race. 6 starts on heavy or soft for 0 places. Caulfield Cup, soft track. It was a pen. It started $13. Oh well, sorry, it was 13s when it was the day started and it started pissing down. So
I backed it.
Off its SP, which was a drifting one, its SP is short of the Best Solution, hasn't it?
yeah, it was short on
You
the
mean
day.
it is paid short of the Best Solution? No, Best Solution was $12. It is paid $19.
Okay, so they've drifted out on the day. I can tell you, Ace High was shorter than Best Solution going into the day.
Yeah, 100%.
Before the rain.
Yeah, it was 17s into 12s Best Solution from say the Thursday night. And Ace High was maybe even
12 to 17s.
Yeah, 11s out 17s. Yep.
So look, I actually reckon this horse has some decent time form ratings. It can be very competitive if it's a dry track. You're getting 120s. I'm solely saying if it's a dry track, don't pen it. I'll have something.
Triple figures, dry track, fair play.
Yeah.
Okay, number 9, Mellow for Hugh Top King Senior Bowman out of gate 10 for H. Morrison.
Yeah, they haven't missed this one.
It is a $17 shot on Betfair.
Started $6 favourite last year in the race. Hasn't improved its figures since that run, but it's been consistent. It's been tallying up Magic Circle at work. Got beaten 2.5 lengths in a Group 1 on the last run in here. The horse that won that race won a Group 1 on the weekend at Chantilly, so it's kind of backed up that form line a little
That's
bit.
been favourite last year's Cup too.
Yeah.
What about this? You blokes didn't touch on this. Second trip out, a bit more seasons, probably good for the horse.
First up into the race where everyone got keen on this horse off the Caulfield Cup run last time.
Yeah, and they said it just didn't back up off that. It had enough, so that's why they've gone fresh this year.
But I think the second trip out makes a difference. Like,
I think Hugh Bowman from 10 is a big tick.
Yeah.
This is the land wherever he wants.
I agree, yep.
And it's a go forward type, so we get a good spot.
I had a couple of ticks beside it. He'd be one winning me something.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I might give it a cut. I should be ticking them as I go. It's going in my numbers.
It's in my top 4.
Okay, number 10, Avilius for Glenn Penjob Schofield out of gate 11 for James the Battler Cummings.
So my thing here, right, is this horse has been given 54.5 kilos where Cross Counter's got 51. And in my opinion, Cross Counter is 100 times a better horse than Avilius. This thing's only just beaten home Jamar, who couldn't even win the Lexus. Look, if this is a crawl and this horse positions forward, I think it very much has the Prince of Penzance about it in terms of just to be able to do a 600 metre sprint. But I don't think that's going to happen here.
Not
race
race
shape.
No.
So it's one I think if the rain comes and it pisses down and goes to the soft 7 to heavy range, this is a horse that jumps out of the ground. That's the only thing that I can consider it on if it gets really wet.
Won't win.
Okay, good. Number 11, Yucatan Island for James McDonald and Aidan O'Brien. It is currently a $6.20 shot on Betfair.
450 out to 620 and it'll keep drifting.
It'll keep drifting.
Came out to Australia with 114 time form rating, which wouldn't have the horse competitive. It got given 116 plus on the Herbert Power run. Blinkers has turned this horse on. J-Mac, in my opinion, stole lengths in the Herbert Power when their anchor dropped. Nothing else has reacted. He's given it the perfect ride. Then the whole leaders has fallen back onto the field. I think the win wasn't as good as it looks. I'm with my mate Francesca in that regard because she had a similar opinion. Can it win? Yes. Should it be favourite? I don't think so.
So you're kind of against the two favourites here. Interesting. Jonathan, anything to add?
It can win.
Yeah.
It can win, but I think it'll get out past $7.
Yeah, and I will say I'm chopping on it if it hits 8s. That's my figure. I've said that I can respectfully chop this horse, otherwise I'm taking it on.
When the old the barrier draw, the penning it and all that sort of stuff. 2 years ago, Amanda won, and the Japanese horse had barrier 23 ran second there, didn't it? In that race, we're drawing really wide. I think it'll get out from out in the odds because of the barrier draw, but with the right run, as I said, if it sort of slots in midfield, it can still win.
23 is a good draw for it. Like the way it ran at Caulfield, that's the sort of run I want to have this time.
Rolling on the.
It's been able to do what it wants. If it's drawn inside 10, it's fucked. It's slow away and it'll be buried. Whereas here, it doesn't matter if it's slow away or fast away, it's just going to do what it wants.
I think in a brutally run 30, 200 metres, if it's 3 wide the trip, even with cover, it's going to have a tough run. Like, it's untested at the distance.
Geez, you started to kick draw. I just let out a big yawn. I got home, like I was in bed by 10.
With the cats, mate.
With the
I
cats.
just take that off. I've got no try. Check grounding, possible obstruction, and just pure line.
Take that
Number 12,
Another
Aubrey
line,
for Tommy Berry, who, geez, he was good yesterday morning, and out of barrier 1 for Richie Friedman. It's currently a $160 shot, Drewy. Take us away, son.
Or mate Richie Friedman, who doesn't like the internationals, but he has his own international horse in the race. Go figure.
You read too much through that, my man.
I know.
Don't worry about this. It's not going to win.
Pen.
Don't bother about talking
I'm
about it.
penning.
Pen the jockey, pen the trainer, pen the horse.
Got beaten by Big Blue.
Yeah.
You know?
Can't win.
Okay, number 13, Finchy for Zachary Purton out of gate 15 for Christopher. Take the bullet for me and I'll give you your job back, Waller. It's currently a $32 shot.
Don't worry, I got the reference. Fairly beaten at Geelong in the Cup by Runaway. They ran really poor figures there overall. The times out of the race, I just can't have it here. I think Waller's even admitting that this horse is still a prep away. Its best runs overseas are good enough to figure here, but those were uncontested leads. So I don't think the race shapes perfectly for it. but it'll handle the weight if it comes.
So I think if this horse gets out to like 50s on the fee, you got to have it in your Dutch. You know, you got to not be losing on it. It was fucking big at Geelong.
It's the best roughie. It wasn't ready at Geelong and it missed work.
We had it in the yard.
Okay. Well, it's good for me to know.
It's like American was fat as a pig in the Geelong Cup and then come out and brain him in the Melbourne Cup. I think this is for me. This is the best roughie. I'll be winning on this one.
Okay, 14 Red Cardinal. Damien Oliver out of gate 5 for DK Weir. Can't win.
Hasn't won for DK Weir since they've taken him into the stable, so that for me says that the horse is going no good. It's 5 runs this prep, hasn't finished closer than 4 lengths. It started $16 in the race last year and, you know, got in a bad spot and did nothing, but I can't
Drew. We pen it.
Yeah.
Can't win.
Yeah.
15 Venga Mask for Patrick Maloney out of gate 2 for Michael Moroney. It is currently an $85 shot, done.
Looks an exotic horse, that's about it. Top 10 maybe, but
Very unlikely.
yeah, couldn't have it to
I
win.
could chop on it.
Yeah.
$85.
Geez, you're going to be chopping a bit with your new axe.
Yeah, because I'm taking on 2 favourites at the moment. In my little mind.
Righto, Ventura Storm Drew.
Number 16, Ventura Storm for Mark Zari out of gate 7 for David Hayes. It's currently a $34 shot.
Comes in the race off a Trek record win at Moonee Valley.
This wins, I'm going to throw up.
Me too, because we smashed it last year for this race,
Yeah.
and it got injured before the race, and it was never going to run it and do anything. It's got the perfect lead in, like Prince of Penzance had, in doing a really fast piece of work. It'll settle forward, handles all surfaces, likes the speed on. Wouldn't surprise, but I'm probably not going to be backing it. Like, I know I'm trying to talk myself into, but I can't back everything.
It gets a good run.
Yeah.
It gets a good run. I'm slightly unders at the moment. Slightly
That's
unders.
what I'm thinking as well at the price.
That's big odds.
I want to see it 50s. Like, if Chestnut Coat's 75, so if this is a firm track, right, and you gave me $2 to back $2 for either Ventura Storm or Chestnut Coat on a firm track, I'm taking Chestnut Coat every day of the week. Okay? So,
Right, number 17, Prince of Iran for Michael Tripod Walker out of gate 20 for Fellows. It's currently a $22 shot. I don't think it can win.
No.
I can't have it at the price. It's unders. Wet Truck's a negative for it if it gets one. There are a lot of things against this horse at the price, and you just take it on.
God bless his cotton socks for winning on
Yeah,
Saturday.
God bless
Yeah.
it. Job done.
We
Thank
got the
you very
money.
much.
Yeah.
Let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Number 18, Nikita for Regan Bayless out of gate 3 for Jardine.
No.
Jardine.
Ebor
It's
winner last
currently
year.
a $110 shot, this.
Won the Ebor last year. Its Werribee work's been average at best. It's gone backwards this year.
Can't win.
Handles all surfaces. Poor at Moonee Valley Cup. Pen.
Number 19, Sir Charles Road for Dwayne Dunn and Luke O'Sullivan and Ace Scott. It's currently a $120 shot.
Hey.
This thing was pretty good at Bendigo. Thought it was okay at Caulfield.
Hey, Dicko.
There's a bit to like about
Hey,
this.
Dicko. Like this show, mate. Like this show. There you done. Lean over the fence, Dicko's mine. Hey, Dicko! Yeah, good on you, mate.
that YouTube show, mate.
Yeah, good on Dwayne.
That's why we never bag Dwayne.
Nah, he's a good bloke.
Great jockey, number 1 jockey.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Can't win.
I
Wants it wet, is what I would say.
Sneaky chance.
Nah, won't win.
No.
Zakata, Drew.
I'm undecided there on Sir Charles Road. Number 20, Zicada for D Lane. Reports also tripod 24 out of gate 24 for Muddy Baker. It's currently a $190.
Second in the Sydney Cup, but who shot Featherman won that one, I'm pretty sure. So, look, the trainer's a genius, but I don't think even genius could get this horse going. It's legless at the moment.
Anything?
No.
Number 21, Runaway for Stevie Basta out of gate 12 for Gay. It's currently a $55 shot.
Big query if it's wet. I think there are better weighted horses. I don't think it's good enough, and it's a pen for
Surely
me.
not. Fuck me.
Yep.
22, Youngstar for Craig Willow Williams out of gate 8 for Chris. Take the ball, I'll give you a job back, Waller.
The wetter the better for this horse, so I think this is one that's really wanting the rain to hit, and it comes into betting if it gets a soft track.
Are you surprised they're pushing it out to this trip already?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
I am.
But it sounds like this was their plan. So
it scares me because this is a really, really nice horse.
Yeah. I think if there's... So, as I was saying,
surely it drifts so, Drew?
No, they'll back it. So, there's got to be a bit of patriarchal money, but it's 51.5 kilos, so it's really well weighted. It's got the best turn of foot of any horse in the race. So, if it can position further forward... What barrier is it from?
Ideal.
Yeah, exactly. So, if they get a good spot in running, let's say midfield, right? And they don't go overly fast, this is the horse to probably,
Okay.
It's going to be there in the finish. So...
Okay,
We're keeping you up, or
yeah, sorry, Jonathan.
No, I'm just...
Had your 12 hours sleep, but you're still a bit dusty. Surprised it doesn't make any
12
sense.
hours?
Yeah, 12 hours.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm happy to lay Youngster. Its Caulfield run was fair to middling. I don't think it was...
It did cross along with Winksley at the start before that.
I realise that. They might have trained off, but I'll be putting it in for something.
Number 23, cross counter for Kieran McEvoy and Charlie Appleby. It's out of gate 19, it's lightly raced, and it is a $10 shot here at 51 kilos.
Best weighted horse in the race by a country mile. Never seen a wet track. That's by design, in my opinion. Bandages on because of its cut. So wet track would be a negative because it gets the bandages a bit wet and just hurt their action a little bit. Charlie Appleby's stable essentially declared this horse as their Melbourne Cup horse before it got beaten by that much in its previous run, which was a really true staying test. There was just massive... I heard from 3 or 4 different sources just saying this is a horse that's going to come out here and go well. I think it's perfectly suited to a Melbourne Cup. It's got that real staying ability for 800 to 1200 metres, just to keep going and going and going.
He's starting to warm up
here.
Starting to warm up here. I've been operating with Drew for a fair while now, and I know he's a bit to clear something.
It's been 16s into, what is it now, 11s?
What did you get?
26s.
God bless you, Drew.
Yeah.
Can I snip some of that?
No.
Oh.
Got a snip last night. Spent the money before it landed, I reckon.
I'll see you Tuesday night if this horse wins.
I think you both...
If it wins, I'll be back.
Your best solution, Lance, Drew's going to Vegas.
Mate, I'm not the one who's pumping out kids. You're the one who needs a sniff.
A snip? A snip.
Yeah, the snip.
Snip. No, mate, you don't.
Is that too much?
You don't cut a blue blood, mate.
Anyway, Drew, back to declaring this horse, which I think you're about to do.
It is in my top 2 with best solution. If it's a dry track, it's going to be extremely hard to beat. I'm just unsure on if we get worse than a soft 5.
Where do you position this in run?
It's going to be on speed. It's going to go on speed.
Forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a rolling type, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Okay, 24, Rostropovich for W. Lorden, and 21 for Aidan O'Brien.
I'm surprised at the $30 that they're betting, and it may even keep drifting, which I'd be more surprised about. 51 kilos, Group 3 winner.
Can't win. It was horrible.
I think it was an okay run at the Cox Plate for a lead-in.
God, you're scaring me now, Drew.
Like, it's run second behind Latrobe in the Irish Derby, and Saxamori was just off them. If their plan all along has been Melbourne Cup and 3,200 metres, they've just kept it rolling along, and they've been sending it out for runs and runs and runs. So if you go look at its form, you can see it's had some really horrible runs where it just hasn't been there. It's just been there for the run or to pace make. So I don't know what they're going to do with this horse, because I did hear some chatter on Twitter of people going, oh, they don't think they're going to roll forward and try and be on speed. They're just going to try and take a sit and then, use the last 1,000 metres to roll into it. So I'm not sure. It's in my basket of medium chances at this stage, which would suggest that I'm on the verge of chopping. So,
okay, Jonathan, anything else to add?
No, let's get into it.
Top 4 numbers.
I'm tipping. I've done this from the bookies side of things. Muntaha, I think, will start single figures. I think $11 is good odds for it at the moment. It will be taking out 0, as did Rekindling and Elmand in the 2 years previous. It's been a nice little race for the Melbourne Cup. I think Finch is the best roughie for mine, the $30. Yucatan I won't be losing on. Marmella I won't be losing on. The Cliffs of Mulher at what odds on Betfair at the moment? Near 20s, isn't it?
Yeah, getting around 19s, I think.
Yeah, it's good shopping as well. So So they're the 5 horses that will be winning me something. 5, 13, Muntaha, Finch, Yucatan, Marmello and Clissamore. So if those one of those 5 come in, should be something for my cats, missus,
The
baby.
cats get fed. There are reports that he went home and told the missus, I just want to sleep with the cats.
I just said to her, I said, there's no point. It's like, I just would have been, she slept in the room with the baby. I sweated and drank water and felt a bit shitty for a bit last night. So.
You get on the Maximus or the Gatorade?
Maximus?
No, I had...
2 for $7, mate.
No, I had a Chemist Warehouse, what do they call it? Like a Barocca, but not the Barocca.
Oh.
No, the... there's something else.
The cheap one.
The generic brand, yeah. Generic brand Barocca, bottle of water and soda water with lemon, and that actually got me through.
Punters, can you bet with him on Tuesday? Because if he's going the home brand Baroccas, he needs your money.
Fucking hell.
Oh, it's coming from Drew.
I'm tipping the 5 Muntaha from the 23 cross counter, from 9 Marmello, from 2 the Cliffs of Moher. I'll probably back a few more roughies as well, but they're my 4 numbers. Drew, this is what everyone's waiting for. We're just killing time here.
So I have 6 numbers in my tops. Best solution on top.
What number's that?
Number 1.
Number 1.
From cross counter, which is number 23. I don't have the numbers for the next couple, but you can tell me. Marmello.
Number 9.
Yep. Muntaha.
Number 5.
Yucatan.
Number 11.
Yep. And the Cliffs of Moher. Or
Number
more.
2.
They're saying Cliffs of More.
Okay, we will have Manio Mail from Flemington for Cup Day. I think we might have something from Peter. Is Peter on track?
He is on track, yeah.
Scary might be on track. We don't know. Figure it out later.
Yeah, hold on, we've got a couple of these.
Just quickly, if you want the detailed preview for this meeting, you need to sign up for the podcast membership. So, Drew, we'll go through this race again quickly on the podcast.
Yeah.
And update with betting moves and.
Well, we'll know what the rain's doing as well.
The most important thing, yes, exactly right, mate. What happens with this weather and what track we're dealing with, because this will affect how we want to bet.
Exactly.
But we'll go through every race on that podcast, and I'll probably get a guest on to help me get through it all.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh,
So it's 3 of us, Drew.
Smash that. Sam Kennedy, get an even track. Yeah, I think we will. Thomas Monaghan is Finch, one of the best roughies. Well, yeah, I agree with that. I think it is.
Walshy's saying it is. Drew's thinking it's probably a year away.
Yeah. It was Yucatan's performance overrated. Drew thinks it's overrated. I think it's still got a good hope. Any reference of Flemington slow heavy in the inside chopping out? Yeah, well, if they do get rain, there's a fair chance it could chop out. I'd imagine. Stupid tweet from Anthony Jupp, which is standard.
What is it?
Just Juppy being Juppy, just basically pestering me.
Sorry, read it out.
No, it's just a video. It's not worth.
Oh, let's have a look at it.
Was it track 2 firm on Derby Day? Probably not.
How good was it for betting? Let me just be on that, right? The best turnover for the industry is when we have a good 3 track that is almost closer to a firm 2 than a good 4. In my humble opinion, I think that's where I want to be betting the most. That's where I'm putting my most units out if I've got a firm track, because I know what it's going to do. I know exactly how it's going to treat the horses. And I know that there hasn't been artificial watering to create biases. So why is it too firm? It's coming to near summer, eventually.
Yeah, so as I said, was it track 2 firm? Probably not.
No.
Okay. Luke Bramley's posted this the other week. Dicko, Horse, Walshy, Drew, Scoot, Noons host the Melbourne Cup party this year. Boys can bring 5 other racing people along for a fat time that starts with beer at 8 AM, continuing through the day, finishing up at Kanamoji. Who's invited? Who's got Group 1 quality all over them? None of them. I don't even know why. No, pass. I'll just pen there. One.
I would just say Clint Hutchinson would be number 1 on that list. He's an out-and-out stayer.
Yeah, I'd be in bed by 1 PM or over a bucket. You can't be in bed by 11 AM.
Oh, fuck off.
So, that's a...
I've gone to bed early last night because I've got responsibilities at home, and I've got responsibilities to my wallet and to my customers to provide a quality service tomorrow and Thursday and Saturday, and I know that I am very easily led astray and I can have a race at the flip of a coin like that.
So stakes day you can blow up, you can go...
So I just sort of fanned him out of there, go to the toilet, next thing I was in an Uber, next thing I was at home.
How important
Said,
do you
"What
think
the
it
fuck
is
you doing,
national
mate? I
awareness?
think you're down to 3.
So Thomas Condon, how important do you think it is for the international runners to have a start in Australia before the big race?
I don't have a clue. Like rekindling pissed in last year. First start, wasn't it?
Horses for courses, as I say, depends on the horse, depends how much work.
And I would just say, having seen what they do at Werribee, they're having runs. They're getting the fitness on their side. They're racing each other. Like I think it's overrated. I think if you go back and look at the horses that run second and third, you'll see so many horses run second and third of being first up. And I don't think those horses could have run any better.
I prefer them with a start over here. I do prefer them with a start over here, but it's not the be all and end all.
Or do you like Clissomer more having
good.
already had two, so it's actually third up? Is that a good thing for you?
I liked it because it's a run on horse in the
Juffy, that's very good.
Oh, no shit, like Juppy, I speak to him probably weekly when he's doing his runs and that up at Bendigo, and he's nice to me and like a friend. As soon as he gets on Twitter, he's just he's just an imbecile. He's just a bona fide imbecile on Twitter. I just don't. I'm going to have a word to Lara and say, well, Lara, what's going on here, mate? Like, this bloke might need to go to the asylum in Bendigo for a week, just in a straight jacket. Get him back on the straight and narrow.
How good was his hat last night with the pants?
Oh,
Okay, I think I'll do it, so.
yeah.
Looking forward to a fat day. Landing Yard Mail, themailbag.com.au, sign up.
We're going good. Everything's good. We're flying. The team's up and about. I hope you have a really enjoyable cup week.
Where's Jonathan going to be on track so people can bet with him?
Oh, there's 3 stands. If anyone needs to be seen, it's the old man in the grandstand. Put him out of the way there. He likes betting.
Up in the members.
Yeah, the old man didn't hold.
If you find me, I'll be in the members in the good grandstand. Not the good one, the new one. And I'll show you where Walshy's old man is if you want to bet.
Actually, don't skin him. I don't want the inheritance knocked off.
Have a great week, guys. Bye.